Good evening, everyone, wherever you're from. This is Lakunle Obashiru from West Africa User Group, and these are continuation of our study series that has begun 8 weeks ago. Uh, During this study series, we've covered different areas from agentic AI. We've covered trust. We've covered uh, topics from orchestration, EKS, OIDC, and today we'll be speaking on. We have a very speaker with us. His name is Abdulatif Ogundikpe, and he will be speaking to us on a very important securing your generative AI uh, within AWS. And today, this topic will, looking at the way technology has unfounded in the past couple of years. We're talking about generative AI and how to build that on AWS, and also how to build a secure app using this system. And Abdulatif Okudikwe will be taking us through that in all bases. And I just want, if you are from anywhere you are listening to us, I would like us to signal. So if you are listening from Lagos, from United States, you are listening from Europe, from any part of the world, try to, let us know as we welcome you to this eighth study series for this period. Let us know your location, and we will be glad to have you in our study series today. Thank you. We'd like to know where you are listening from. We'd like to know where you are, being part of. It's our being part of our community. Know where you are, your location. Study series so far. We have all named. You can learn one thing. Experts speak from different parts of the world, contributing knowledge to the community. And if you are anywhere, let us know. Today we have Chisom, someone from Lagos. Thank you for being part of this uh, study series today. Thank you. Our speaker who have spoken deep about different services on AWS. And so today we have a great speaker in the person of Abdulatif Ogundikwe. Uh, thank you. Let us know where you are joining us from. Lagos, London, Atlanta, Texas. Glad to have you join our study series today. Now, by 6:05 precisely, I would just like to bring our speaker on board, and I would just like to share a little bit about him and about what he has done for his contribution to knowledge, his contribution in building, and he's an expert in this area. So, Abdulatif Ogundikwe is a doctoral student, automatic in robotics, is a certified AWS cloud practitioner and 2 times AWS community builder. Presently, he's contributing knowledge, adding to knowledge, based on his doing his research, a PhD research in Europe, in and using that in building services on AWS, building solutions around AI and machine learning. And so it's our privilege today to have someone who will combining the aspect of what academic building research, developing, ideas for creation, and who also has someone who, someone who is also solution on AWS. We have that kind of person today. Invite Abdulatif. Thank you so much. So Abdulatif, you have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kule. Please, can you confirm if you can hear me? Can you confirm
Yeah,
if
I
you can
think
hear me?
yeah, we can hear you. You are audible and clear.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. So, yeah, I would like to confirm if, okay, it's nice to be here just to greet everyone. Thank you for having me. It's a privilege and honor to be here to share something with the community, someone quite interested in the field of generative AI and cloud engineering. So this topic is quite an important one for me, and I hope everyone will be able to benefit one or two from this. This is a general learning session for both the speaker and the audience. So, and I hope you find it interesting. All right. Thank you once again, Mr. Olakunle, for the introduction. I'm glad to be here. So, without further ado, I would like to begin my presentation. So, I would like to confirm if my screen can be seen now.
So your screen is, I think, is live.
Okay. Oh, okay, great. All right. Yeah, thank you for that. So, I will begin now. The topic I will be speaking on will be secure generative AI with Amazon Bedrock, Guardrails, and IAM. And I hope that in the next 20 to 25 talk will be in two parts, stick to the slides, and I also try to some narratives to how to really work, even though it will be a very straightforward one, but the basics is the basics. Whenever you need to deploy it in every application that you. So I'll try when I am invited to speak. I like to put a context because it's we have several audience from different background. We have people of high technical expertise, even more than the speaker, and we have people of the same level as speaker. We have people that just wanted, they are just curious. They saw the advertisement, the LinkedIn post, and let me go and let me just come and see what this person is going to say. So I'll try to create a scenario to begin so that we will all have the context of why we are what we are talking about, the topic. Then we look at the building blocks, we look at the architecture, as AWS solution architect or whatever you are, the architecture of whatever you are doing is very necessary. And then that will be major. So I'm hoping that this will be a quite interesting and practical session for you all. I will plead with you to trust me with this and stay with me. Pay attention, and please, if you have any clarification, please drop it and I'll be sure to answer. So let's begin. Security talk should actually start with a story like this. Like, we all know that we are in the ages of generative AI, and one of the key things that even though generative AI has gone far beyond chatbot, but one thing that we will see in every application, I'm not even talking about the ChatGPT, I'm not talking about the cloud AI, but we are seeing industries, we are seeing businesses building their own personalized chatbot for their customers to speak with them. And this is the context of this talk that we are going to have, because I want to tell you about a chatbot that was built and it wasn't ready for production. So I introduced to you policy bots. It is a AI assistant for an insurance company, and it has let's say that's look at the policy bot. I'm sure you are familiar with this kind of interface whereby you will search. Take for instance, was asked, what are John Smith's recent claims by a user? Look at the response that it gave. Can you see it gave a different name, a different details for different person? Now let me tell you what happened. Insurance company go because of generative AI, they want to offer more to their customers. They want their customer experience to be better. They said, let's have a policy bot. They got someone to build a chatbot for them. And something about chatbot for anyone, I know for people that are in the field, they will be aware of this. But basically, you are putting a generative AI model behind your data. It's personalized. That's why it won't give a generic response. So when you want to launch, they launch when the insurance company wanted to, they launch their chatbot with the information of their customers, the policies, the claim, and the customers. Done. Can't you see that the chatbot beautiful? How the question was asked was, but immediately, almost when it was launched, a prompt from another user, but it gave another customer record. This is a very bad one for anyone that is familiar with data sovereignty. This is a very serious situation. Like saying that you know the amount a bank did something like this, and you can know the amount another customer has in his bank, and you know what this can lead to. So what happened after this situation happened and it was flagged? This can lead to people losing their jobs. Number one, the company will first take down this field that, oh, it's not good, and they could even have some compliance issues with the government organ managing this. Can you see the idea of policy bot is good, but look at this error, which could not be something they could have thought about. Maybe somebody will ask this kind of question. Maybe they were just asking maybe general question or personalized question. They've tested it definitely, but they never get will happen. And like the root cause model, it was about around the model. Totally why this, what I mean by this. So now, I've talked to you about this, we've looked at the senior policy, but please put this in mind always, because this is a foundation I want us to build together. We've built a foundation of the problem. Now we want to analyze the why do we have this failure, anatomy of the failure. I put five, it could be more than this, but I categorize this into five for clear understanding. So number one is the problem of the identity boundary.
Sorry, we lost our speaker, but he will soon join back. I guess a network problem, and just bear with us. He'll soon be back. So you could say that he began talking about security Have our speaker
when you are
back.
using Mr. Kunle, please
Hello,
confirm if you can.
Abdullah. Yes, we lost you. And yeah, okay, you can start from where you stopped doing the anatomy.
Sorry, please. Okay, okay. Thank you for calling my attention to that. I just observed that I had some noise while I was speaking. But can you confirm that you can hear me well and my slide is also up?
Yes, your slide is up and we can hear you clearly.
Okay. I hope the network will not cause that disruption again. So, like I was saying, we are trying to analyze the failure that was from the policy board scenario that I cited, so that we can take this problem together and be able to follow the lecture well. So the next thing I was talking about, the guardrail that was missing, because if a guardrail was in place, such thing will not happen. The next thing is there was no audit trail, which is also a key thing to avoid this issue. Then data hygiene, for people that knows about managing data, a lot of sensitive and public data lived in the knowledge base, which should have been managed when creating the chatbot, which are key things that one needs to consider when you are talking about securing generative uh, uh, AI chatbots. Then we have the untested failure mode, which was like giving the chatbot a comprehensive test, edge cases test such as this could have helped the developers catch this kind of issue before being deployed. And the last point that I want us to take away after mentioning these 5 points is that the secure Gen AI is the mostly secured cloud applied to any kind of workload. So what we are going to discuss about the security of generative AI, it's very important that you should pay attention to. Then I also want to tell you something about why Gen AI security is different from the normal security architecture that we know for applications. You know, when you look at an application, they most times have the input and output the fields that you can control. But in this situation, we are having the input and output on the data plane, because the input is data, where the output is generated is also from data. So different ways in which generative AI security can happen, which some people can just do prompt injection, whereby they try to control the AI. Normally, all this AI that we have, they have some prompt options that they have already identified inside. They already use that. But when a user wants to use them, if the user have a bad intention, it can instruction the model. If it's not properly designed, then the model can fail and do what is not expected to do. So prompt injection, which can lead to sensitive data leakage, jailbreaks, asking for harmful content. You can say, oh, give me the this, give me the authentication key of this, and different cyber security is, and you've known different security issues that has given in the cyber security field that GI is prone to. Then action for anybody there with AI models. This is whereby they bring information that are not grounded. I told you that when you are building a chatbot, you put a customized chatbot, you put your knowledge base behind a model. But there could be situation that the model, so you are learning. Hallucination is when the model confidently big and that is not right. You are people that use ChatGPT experience something like that, whereby it will give you a very output. So this then excessive agency, that's like being having over permitted and the unauthorized access. So because of these key things that I've mentioned, the generative AI security is pretty different. Now that we have looked the cases, we've analyzed the anatomy, and we've been able to also look at why different. Now let me pick out the key tools relating to the topic of this topic of and the first one is the Amazon Bedrock. The fund it is the AWS service that helps you to deal with a lot of models whereby let's go ahead. What is Amazon Bedrock? Like I've said, is a fully managed serverless service to build and scale generative AI applications. I'm very sure AI that have used generate models, pre-trained models, already made models will know Amazon Bedrock, because this allows you to use any available models, which we will see. You don't need to train any model. You will just console, you will select the kind of model that you will need, and you'll be able to choose them. So able models on AWS, the Anthropic, Claude, Nova, Meta, Lara, Coel, and several. I have some interface to. So this is how I use this simple flow for you to have a contextual idea. You have your app where a user input is prompt. Amazon Bedrock is being called with its model attached to it, and you have a generated response. It's simple as that. This is how a normal chat a model goes. You have your app, then you have the Amazon Bedrock connected to it, and you have your response. Now, what are the Bedrock building points? Like our building blocks, we have the founding models to choose. Then, this is one of the key things that we will look at in this speech. We have the guardrails. The guardrails, look at the importance of it in this so that I won't take so much time. Then we have the knowledge base. Like I told you, if you want to build a customized app for your for a particular application or for particular scenario, you have to put your knowledge. What do I mean by knowledge base? What do I mean by sorry? All right. Sorry for the interruption. I okay. Can you see my screen now? Okay, good. All right. You have your knowledge base. You have your guardrails. You have your knowledge base. Then you have your agents. This might not be so related here for this context of this topic, but for you to know, you have your agents, you have the prompt management, and the model invocation logging. These are the key building blocks of Bedrocks that whenever you want to design something, you use them. Now, the security relevant bits of Bedrock. The first is the access. So we are going into the security step by step. We are looking at the security level in Bedrock. The first one is you have to have model access, which is granted per model, even though right now everything is by default, whereby you can access, you can pick a model and even test it on Playground. We will see that during the demo. So you have to access that. Then when you are doing your traffic, you have another security relevance of Bedrock is that your request never transfers over the public internet. You can use the VPC interface endpoint to keep it fully private. This is a key way to achieve security in Bedrock. And lastly, you can audit every call. There is a way you can use CloudWatch plus CloudTrail to audit every call and be able to monitor how your model is managing the information that how is managing the information, the input and the output that is given. This is very essential when we are talking about security wise relating to Bedrock. Now, We've spoken about Bedrock. I don't want to take so much time on the theory because I have quite a number of interesting things to also show you during the demo. So I will just try as much as possible to go a bit fast, but definitely if you have any question, please feel free to ask or put it in the chat and I will be sure to answer. Now, when I was talking about the content, the building blocks of Amazon Bedrock, I mentioned Guardrails, and Guardrails is one of the key configurable things in Bedrock to help you secure your generative AI app. And you will see the reason now. Now, prompt only safety isn't enough. What does this mean? Like I told you, if you for any generative AI a generative AI model, they will have internal system instructions. These internal system instructions will tell the model what they can bring out, what they should not bring out. But unfortunately, like I've told you, the kind of different security challenges that AI can have in terms of prompt injection, different type of security that can be they can be prone to. So the prompt, take for instance, you are giving a model, you said never review PII, never give legal advice in the system prompt. The policy bot that I told you about, I'm sure maybe the person that designed it already put this thing in the system instruction, but unfortunately, when a user asks for it, it gave. So that's it gave the information which is not expected to give. So that's why I said prompt only safety isn't enough, and we need gathering. So I wanted to tell you the disadvantage of just relying only on the safety in prompt. The first one is not so testable, versionable, it's not auditable, and it's model specific because what all these points is the model, when they give them information, is as if they have the brain of their own and they can do as they like. It's as if you put a child in a room and no one to guide the child, even though you tell the child don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, you've given the child instruction, but when the scenario comes in, the child did as it likes. But compared to the situation whereby you have maybe a nanny beside the child, oh, don't let this child, don't go here, the nanny ensures that when the child is moving towards, it controls it. So for that's the nanny here is serving as the guardrail guiding the model. And the advantage of this is the opposite of that prompt in terms of it is testable, versioned, auditable, agnostic. Don't get me wrong, the safety, the system, putting safety in system prompt is important, but we are saying that in situations that are critical, it is not reliable. For situation, especially if you are in the AWS environment, you should make use of the security of the guardrail, and these are the advantage that has been listed. I really hope you are following me till this moment, because if you can see, I'm actually creating a structure. We started from the problem, we looked at a case scenario, we looked at the reason why it got. Now we are looking at the building blocks, and we are looking at how you can put security into these building blocks, and how, and we'll also see a demo. So please stay tuned with me and we'll soon be done. Now, guardrail policy component. Now I want to speak with you. Also, I want you to always have the topic of the discourse in mind. We are trying to secure generative AI applications with the use of some AWS services and concepts. One, Bedrock, Guardrails, and IAM. So please, as I'm showing you each slide, always have this topic in mind so that you'll be able to have a potential of the whole scenario I'm trying to create. Now, I'm talking about the guardrail policy components. The guardrail policy components contains, which include one, we have the content filters, we have the denied topics, we have the word filters, we have the sensitive informations, the prompt attacks, and the contextual graph. What does all this mean? I'm trying to tell you that whenever you are configuring address for your Amazon Bedrock, Mr. Obakunle, I saw that you came on stage. I hope everything is fine. Can you hear me? Can you confirm if you can hear me before I continue? Hello. Hello, can you confirm if you can hear me? I don't know if I'm putting that if they can hear me so that I'll be sure that I'm still with everyone. This silence is not. Hello. Can any of the audience hear me and send a message so that I can confirm that? Okay, I'm here to receive confirm, but I will just want to believe everything is fine. Okay, thank you for your. I've seen the confirmation that I can be here. Thank you. So I want to be sure that I've not lost you, so that I won't just be before the little disruption. The guardrail policy component. All these are key things, and you will see them when we go into the brief demo. These are the things that you go. And if you look at each of these, can you see how important they are in handling the security challenges, especially the one that we've quoted in the policy board? For instance, sensitive information in that the policy board that I showed you at the beginning, if the guardrail was configured for that, this sensitive information captured it and giving the necessary solution either to block or mask that information so that the user will not see a sensitive information as that. And similarly, these are other content things that you will configure, which, like I have written here, it acts on the input before the model and also acts on the output before the caller. So the input the user puts in, it acts on that, and output that the model. We see a clear one as time goes on. All right. Now, how does guardrail work? Because guardrail is like the center of our discussion today, one of the key things. So I need to put more. This is a study session. I'm hoping that information given here will be helpful for people to improve their. So I created the user puts an input, then there's an policy to check that, then have and we have the output policy to check that too. Then the caller that gives the output to the user back. So what it checks and marks both at the input level and both and at the output level. Hello, with me? I have a feeling. I think I'm seeing response that I'm still with me. Okay. All right. So, like I was saying, this is just a chart to let you know what happened when you configure a guard. Like I told you, it's recorded in the guard trace. You can look at what is happening, the input assessment, the output that was taken. So let me show you some use cases so that you understand what I'm referring to when I talk about guardrail. So now, for instance, we see this. We need to see this result. Please take note of what you see on this slide, because at the end of the day, when we finish our configuration and we put in this sample prompt that I will put, we need to see this action. Confirm all what we configured was executed. When we well architected, the guardrail should pass this because there's nothing that maybe we have configured as a sensitive thing. And this is like a plain topic. Jane Doe, Jane and the email confirm receipt. This is the user prompt. But looking at this, the guardrail sends some personal information, identifiable, and what does this the got it was mask means hide. Mask means hide. So it identifies it so that the system is giving out an output. It won't give out all this personal identifiable information because we have already our guardrails not to put down. Look at this. Should landlord over a leaky roof, then we'll have configured our guardrails to deny. So it will block this and the model will never be invoked. So can you see the what is guiding the model, the guardrails, is ensuring that if this information is given, it blocks the model from giving any output. If it's that hide some information in it, when it came to the model, it hides it. And whenever the output is coming out, it's also so please take note of this slide. We take note of it. The other part of the security, IAM, for people that attended the last AIS, happened to be the moderator actually, and they spoke about the least privilege, and this is also relatable here because the security Gen AI, whoever is accessing the model, which the IAM has defined, also matters. Like you in the policy that about finance company, the IAM for it to bring such means that it is not restricted as, and that's why I say the blast radius of an LA, it is the IAM role attached to it. For instance, I'm very sure that I've dealt with any IAM role. You will see some people when I just see resources, they will that is familiar with writing policy, put star. That means give the model every access to a particular resource that's done. This is when we are talking about security. So when we are still in the AWS, every model not anonymous access because models are resources, so you can scope them. You can say, this is what I want to access. People that are familiar, whenever you are creating your user, you create user attach policy to them to restrict them, and we are already least privilege. Trust. Everything applies there, especially the least privilege. So it's to build defense in depth. Now, IAM primitives and Bedrock action. Let me now give you some case scenario for you to identify when you are taking. When talking about the identity and policy that you need to create when you are using the Bedrock, you need to create IAM rules, which we will see in the demo. The IAM rules that are assumed by the workload, not necessarily IAM users. For people that are with security, even security of workstation, whenever you want to do a service, you majorly create, maybe you attach a role to it that will retrieve the person. Depending on the case scenario, it's better to for IAM. Then when you create your Lambda for execution, you can attach roles to them to give them, you can call them, and this is identity that you can use. Take for instance, look at this simple policy. You call Bedrock and you say, oh, what I need for them. Also, you specify what I need from you is involved with response string. Also, you specify with Bedrock apply guardrail, Bedrock get retrieve from knowledge, uh, uh, knowledge. This you put in your policy. But for somebody that don't want to take this, they will just put your column and they will put star. Then Bedrock will be able to have access to everything. Uh, so now that leads us to what I've described now is the least privilege policy. You look at the ARN, you see they are specific. Look at the, I want us to privilege IAM policy very well. Look at the, I specifically put two, and when you look at that of the allow on guardrail, specific an action on the resource. What does it mean? This is saying that what is for this role, which I will attach to is from the resource from the you can use anyone other copy. Then guardrail, the pin guardrail, can you see at the bottom you see the what it's expected. And in policy you don't define, implicitly deny. That's a key advantage, and that's what default deny means with. And whatever you explicitly in use. So this is the concept of least privilege. You only give what is being needed. This is applicable to almost every security issue when it comes to the AWS. We are getting, and we will be putting everything to just to, for anyone that are just or that have been following, maybe in one way or the other, due to network issues, you were lost. The concept that we are trying to do is that build find this a bit interesting because as solution architect, anything dealing with AWS, whenever you see you are happy, you can see. So all what I'm saying so far is summarized here. If you want to talk about technical architecture, I know that some, take for instance, I didn't mention API gateway, I mentioned about logging, but the key thing that you need to know here is that user send a request, it goes to the AWS Lambda. Lambda which will be like a Python script that will be run. There will be the role attached. It will have it will send the request to the Amazon Bedrock, and it will be the Amazon Bedrock will connect to the knowledge base to get information and be able to give output, and the necessary logs will be sent to the Amazon CloudWatch, which will get to the cloud tree. So if you want to configure something like this for an application, this is a kind of architecture, maybe not so perfect to add, but these are building blocks that you need to do to configure it well in the AWS environment. So when we talk about the defense in depth, we spoke about what is around the model and what is around the data, what the model should do, and what access it will be, the what access should it be around the data. A good secure generative AI part, and that's why this slide is labeled defense in depth. So you build something around the model, and these are some list of things that you can do about this. I don't want to go over it again to avoid repetition. Then around the data, a lot of things that we've said has been around the model. We are guiding it because the context of generative AI. Then around the data, you also need to do these several actions, which that are familiar with data management. Now, like I told you, when you are running, you should be able to see what is my model seeing and how is it managing them. So we can see the log of every invocation, we can tag every call, the audit, the alarm. If there has been an alarm, oh, this should not happen, the model will record it. Then the sample into a lake, like in terms of the traces, it and even put it in a way that review, and you can even plan better, because when you look at the guardrail, it is something that you configure it again and reconfigure it to make it stronger depending on your model is receiving, and further improve security for future. So these are you need to bother on. So yeah, it's been a whole about 30 minutes about a lot of, might sound a bit boring, but it's good. You can just have a bit of stretch, because now it's a demo time, which I will take you through some key things so that you think works and walk the talk now. A lot has been said, a lot of energy has been put in the talk, but I know for a lot of you coming here, you want to see how to really do these things, and it's pretty straightforward. And just to show you some slides, what we do, these are the key things that you are going to see, which I will try to take us through in 15 minutes so that it takes so much time, and it's fast spent already. And I will use some slides, and the particular slide of some testing that we will try and what we are going to expect. I am bringing it again. We put some AWS architecture, it will do this, it will max this, and when we ask for legal advice, now I will stop sharing now and quickly share my screen, my demo screen, my screen that I have already opened, so that I won't. Now I want to share another. Here it is. Overview. All right, great. Now, a lot have been said, and if you remember, I mentioned three keys in my discussion. I mentioned Bedrock, I mentioned Guardrails, and I mentioned IAM. So the first user, this is my account. personal account, which I should have even blocked some maybe some sensitive information, but hopefully I won't have anyone that will want to joke with my account here. So the first thing that I want you to do is to show you that I said in my explanation that the model has a lot of models. And if you look, I'm clicking the model catalog now for you to see what model is available. And if I just click maybe talk about the Anthropic is one of the popular model. Can you see these are the models that are available in Anthropic? And what if you take for the doing, I used Novelite. One key way to just test is if you are on your, for anyone that is not familiar, you can just come to the playground like I've done and you can say hello and see if you're, like I told you, actually model. But right now, since you pay for, I don't know if there will be any restriction, but so I know you can access any model, and when you run it, it will ask. But if you use the code just to be sure that access, and there will be that it will configure. Can you see? I said enter the model, and it says hello, how can I help you today? That means it's respond. This is not why we are here. This is as if you are playing with just a model. Now look at the left side, you will see under build, you see guardrails. This is guardrails. This is what we've been speaking about all while. The guardrails, take for instance, earlier before now, just to help us save time, I have created a guardrails which are created for this demo. So if you look at, take you the process of creating so that you are going through your, if your creation, you can also follow, but I would like us to click through it and review the one that earlier. When you are create your graduate, you remember that I listed some things on my slides that, oh, we will check this, we will check this. These are the about 6. I listed 6. Configure filters, add deny topics, add word filters, add sensitive information, add contextual grounding, and add automated reasoning check. Can you see these are the available options which you can use to configure your guardrail to help you secure your generative AI app. When you do this, you will be able to add information. Let's say this, I put this, there are several information. You will go to the next harmful categories. You will get information, hate speech, these are some normal prompt attacks. I told you this. Can you see how important this option available to help you get and and everything? You have all the information. Deny topics. When deny topics, you add a deny topics and you tell them, oh, for instance, if you get advice, do you want to see the option block or detect action, just detect or no action? So please get me right. Can you see block or detect no action? Then output, do you want to block or detect no action? So you will use for any information that a user can do, for anyone to know the kind of information relating to that specific application that will cause issues with the generative app. So just to manage our time, we are short time. I just feel to show you that we can go to the next filters. Oh, you don't want to see this word, you don't want to see this phrase, you want a file of all the words you don't want to see, you can upload it. Or S3, you can it. Can you see? Next, set information. If I want to add PII, the ones, name, address, user ID, the debit card, CVV, all this information. When it comes to IT, you see IP4 address, web access key, everything that you to any kind of information that feels like a kind of sensitive information, personal identifying information has been customized there. You just need to select it. So this is it where you choose that. Then also for people patterns, how you can find patterns that users as add as put a prompt. You can add up to just maybe on Connie, you find a way, maybe from the tracing of the previous call, you can add this in the regex patterns. I hope you are following. Then you can also add some other things. Then see automated reasoning to show you that there's also smart things that can be done. You can put enable automated reasoning, but yes, and everything can be how you will configure a guardrail. But for the sake of this, I don't want to configure another one. I will just show the one I configured earlier and we will try to test it briefly. So see, like I told you, I created earlier guardrail, which sorry, my network is, I don't know why, maybe because I'm sharing my screen, but the network is not so good that is working. Demo guardrail. So I just use it because it's for AWS, it's for talk. So that we can review. We will try to review the parameters that has been done. So just a minute. So can you see I've I have created this guardrails and I will just the think so I created this about a week ago. The user draft way, the description. And please, whenever you create a guardrail, it's very important. If you don't click, you won't have your version deployed. Like it won't be available for you to use. So please take note. And another important thing, take note of your ID. You will need it when running. And is the ARN. Whenever you need ARN, the script of the Python file that used to invoke, and then that's all what you need when it comes to the guardrail. Now, the next thing that I want to show you is the IAM. You know, I told you we'll do better. We've shown you the on Bedrock. I've shown you the guardrail. Now we'll go to the IAM. For the IAM, what I will do now is to share my nest. This another screen where I am, and first to create a policy, a role, and I will search for the role Bedrock which I have created, and we'll see. I want you to see the how the created. Now this is the policy that was attached to it, and you will see the JSON file now, so that we'll be able to look at how it is. Now, please pay very good attention. You know, I showed you something like this. Not Jack. I showed you this exact policy, which was attached to the role that I created. Can you see that we have just the least privilege being implemented here? I only need Bedrock invoke model, and I need, this is the resource of it, of the Bedrock. Also for guardrail, I just need the action of apply guardrail and get guardrail, and this was the guardrail, the ARN I was showing you in our previous stuff, in our previous slide. So for me to test the guardrail, to show you what I have done, I will come back to this screen. I will go, I will choose for the guardrail rather, I will go back to the guardrail. And if you can see, when I select this guardrail, please pay attention to this part. This is the part of the result. And I think after this result, I will just show you a particular. Oh, I should have shared a GitHub file with you for you to follow me. I sincerely apologize for that. Let me see if I can still share it so that some of you can. Or so just a minute. There is a README. I will share a GitHub. Okay, Mr. Please, I'm sharing a GitHub file, Mr. Bak, I'm sharing a GitHub file with you. Please let me put it in the chat so that it's very follow through and you will see the code there. Let me quickly share the screen just for us to test the model. Yeah, and I'm here. So now I'm back at the Guardrail, and the test that I told you I want to try out. So I'll go ahead to copy the text. The first test that we want to do is to ask for what are the architecture pillars. Don't forget, this is just a Guardrail. This is not the model. Look at what now I put. Look at the left side where you see test. I'm trying to test my Guardrail. I've asked it to use the API. Now put a text. Well architected pillars. You will see what it will say. It's loading. It's loading. Can you see? The guardrail said no action. Action. Next, I will come again. I will put where there is a personal identifiable information, PII. I will put, my name is Jane Doe. Please confirm. I run again. Can you see? The guardrail intervened. It's act. And the rest is, my name is email. Please confirm. Can you see that it maxed out the configuration that we to it? It maxed it. The figure for it to block. If you look at it, should I sue my life? We've acted to block legal advice. Now let's see if it will work as expected. So can you see that this is the guardrail working? This is not even the model. So this is the one protecting the input before going into the model. Similarly, there's also one protecting the output of the model before going back to the user. I don't know why this is taking long, but it should. Can you see? I can't help with this. It first what this assistance is about to discuss. So this is the guardrail working, and I've three different use cases of scenario of masked and blocked. So for a typical, like if you have seen the GitHub link that I've shared, you will see a particular there. I want to show you all the description of how to achieve it has already been done, but I just want to, last thing that I will show you before any this talk is how I tested this guardrail in my console. So I will stop sharing now. I will stop sharing, and the last thing I want to share now is just my console that I configure in my on my system. I can, where are you? Administrator. Okay, just a minute. Okay, good. Now this you'll have seen that I've done some. I have done all the settings. So can you see? Look at the first what is on my chart. I'm calling a Python .py. I am Jane Doe. Can you confirm receipt? If you remember the test that we've done, what should happen? It should mask this Jane Doe. So let's see this, and what I show you here is called observation. Can you see after I ran this, the can you see it respond? I am unable to directly confirm the receipt of email due to privacy information. However, I can assure you that your message has been received and is being verified. If you need assistance or specific information, feel free to let me know. Best regards. This was the model response. Now let's look at the trace. Let's see if the guardrail work. Can you see this is the information about the guardrail? And if you look at this place, said match JNode, type name, action anonymized. What does that mean? That it detected a name and it anonymized marks before sending out the output. And these are other information of it. So can you see that it is a long action reason guardrail masked? Can you see how you're able to secure? This is the other one of can I sue my landlord? I'm using that. My landlord, it's going to respond. Can you see at the end of this, it said guardrail action blocked. It gives that I can't help the model output. Can you see the model output? I can't help with that outside what the assistant. Can you see how this configuration has been helpful to protect the generative AI app? This is a very simple situation, but the context for anything that you want to use is the same. So just to round up now, a lot has been said. I will go back slide. I'm sharing now just to round up the talk. Sorry. Where are you? Okay. So I want to stop sharing now. Oh, hello. Okay. Okay. Stop sharing. I know it has been a long, but I felt for everyone that has created time to join us in this study session, um, not to actually through this. And I'm sorry, I'm just saying in the chat that it was breaking at some point, but that you have been able to we're able to follow through. So, like I told you, this the expected results of the demo, and like I've shown you, we're able to see them all. It passed the simple, it marked, and it blocked. So, what are the lessons learned? Please take note of these key things. This is all this while, pin everything, attach a guard row or IAM row, list, sure you trace before ship, before you push to production, block, monitor block access. These are some things that you should not do. Admin run on Lambda. These are some common things that you should take note of when dealing with it. So Bedrock, just to summarize everything, Bedrock is a managed model. Guardrail, safety as a resource. IAM, the blast radius of your of your of whatever you are giving access to. So when you want to secure generative AI, it's mostly the secured cloud applied to a new kind of workload. So the concept with all these context, what we'll be able to do, and that I have actually used some resources to create it to be able to give you information. And if you get to, I understand that some people have some issue with network, but when you get to rewatch on YouTube, also these resources. And I really appreciate your attention. Please feel free to reach out to me through my email email address is sharing it. I Ogundipe, my LinkedIn name, my GitHub is Abdulateef Ogundipe. I also write sometimes on dev.to at Abdulateef, and even though I'm not a Twitter person, Twitter account. So thank you so much for your attention, and I really hope by now you have something that you can integrate into your in any secret AI app. You can be able to use Guardrail well. You can be able to ensure that you ensure least privilege. And like I've shared, I've sent, it was sent. I sent a GitHub link. I hope it will be shared with you. It is a it is a well detailed documentation in which you can follow to achieve this. I've added the some screenshots to even help you. I have added the what again? I've added the MATLAB the code for you to access the script to be able to use it on the terminal like I've done. So please, if you have any question, find I'll drop a very expensive article of and how to implement it of. So do well to follow me on necessary platform, and I will be stopping here. I think we've spent so much time. Thank you for having me. It's really a great pleasure to have this information, this opportunity to share the little that I told you. I'm someone very interested in generative AI, cloud, robotics, and around that is something that interests me, and I'm so that I'm having this conversation with you, and I hope you've gained one or two things. The moderator, I'm sorry if I've spent over time. Please, I give the floor to you. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Abdul Latif, you spoke well. The guardrails in Bedrock, your policy, the IAM. So I have gone to do a review of what. So just go straight to session. Thank you for coming on. I believe for this topic worthwhile. And as you said, go back to the YouTube, go rewatch because there were a lot of detailed techniques shared by Abdul. And so, not to boss, just like to if you are seeing my screen, Sean, let me know and I'll be glad. Mm, uh, can anyone see my screen? I have actually used some resources to. Can anyone see my screen? If you can see my screen, please let me see the chat. If you can screen, I want to see in the chat. I would like to know if you can. I would like you to, show in the chat. Can anyone see my screen? So let me try to refresh. I'm trying to be on the count page. So apologize. Uh, Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now. You were off for some time, but
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I can hear you. I can hear you,
Yeah,
but you were off for some time.
apologies. The network on my hand has been terrible. Can you hear me? To participate during the.
Okay, I can hear you now. You were off for some time, but I can hear you now. I can hear you.
And joined. We sincerely apologize for the network not being able to. Uh, it's beyond us. Thank you for being part of the KT this today, and we'll get back